Yes, people. What is happening? Welcome to Saeed TV and welcome back to another call in show. Big up to everybody who's tuning in right now. You know what? Let me just come back in. I'm a little bit blurry, people. But yeah, like I said to you, people, man, big up to everybody who's tuning in right now. Love to everybody who's keeping supporting the channel week in, week out. Um, But you know what I'm saying, we're here, we're back again. This is the calling show, people. And the debate today is Paul Pogba. Paul Labile Pogba. That's the debate today, people. I want to get your opinions. Today's not about me, today's about you, man. I always say with this calling show, not many people do this, not many people take their time. You know, I mean, a lot of content creators don't do calling shows, man. I personally don't know why, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that support the channel. They're the ones that watch you week in, week out. You know, I mean, you got to hail them up, man. So we want to know what's your opinion. And this is once a week, man. We get to hear your opinion. And today it's about Paul Pogba. What is he a flop, or do you actually believe that Man United actually failed him? Did Man United fail him? We want to know, people. I'm going to put the link in right now in the chat. First come, first serve. Make sure, people, to have your camera on, man. Camera on and good Wi-Fi, good lighting. You know what I mean? And make sure and make sure also that you haven't got any kind of your wires hanging out of your headphones or whatnot. Make sure the sound is quite good. You know what I'm saying? So big up to you. Um, Right, let's do this now. This link is there. I'm gonna pin it to the pin chat, and then it's literally first come, first serve. This is about opinion, people. That's why I did both sides of the story. I did just say Paul Pogba's a flop. I just went, listen, have Man United failed him, or is he a flop? People can have two sides of the story, so we're gonna find out now, people. We're gonna find out now. So make sure, people, to come in right now. Quickly come in. You know what I'm saying? To Mr. Strella, first up on the scene. Strella, what are you telling me?
What's going on? So you're right.
Yeah, not too bad, bro. What are you telling me?
Yeah, not too bad. I've just been watching like media outlets like Talk Sport and things like that.
Yeah,
yeah. And I'm just seeing like some. I'm not going to name the people, but I'm just being hella disrespectful. Like, I think it's a bit like what you said. That bit both sides where he's probably reached the ceiling with United. I think we failed him. He's also not produced to what we thought we was getting. But I just feel like it's an easy scapegoat when you say he cost X amount of money. He should have been performing straight off the rip. When you got someone like Harry Maguire, you continue to make excuses saying, "Oh, we need to get someone who's a faster centre back to get the best out of him," or Rashford, we need another left back who will have better link up with him. I feel like there's lots of excuses for our players, and there's been like an agenda pushed for Pogba. Like on Talksport, I heard them say that he wouldn't even get into City's team because of the personality he is. But they've got a player like Jack Grealish, who in an unprecedented pandemic went out drink driving, clubbing, crashed his car and ran off. And even when they just won the Premier League, he's been drunk on TV, like not presenting himself in a professional manner. And I feel like since Pogba's been here, no one can say a bad word about him off the pitch. It's only on the pitch some people have a problem with, and I understand why. Me personally, I feel like he's 29 years old. If this has happened maybe like 3-4 years ago, I would have felt a type of way about it. But I'm just literally happy just hearing United to get rid of the players that they're leaving already.
No more scapegoat now, innit? No scapegoating now.
I still
we
think
can blame Paul Pogba.
It won't be Paul Pogba. It will just go on to someone else. And I feel like Bruno, you can see the transition already. I feel like it's gone from Pogba and it's gone to now Bruno. And then if it's not Bruno, it'll be somebody else who just isn't English. We all know what the agenda is. Is if you're not English, you don't get it. But if you are English, you're protected. But, to me personally, I said I wish Pogba nothing but the best. We probably will see him, and everybody will be like, "Oh, why did we sell him?" Blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, people need to realize the guy's 29 years old. He hasn't been fully consistent, if everybody wants to be honest, and he's freed up a large proportion of the wage bill. So if anything, it just puts us in good stead to replace him. Me personally, I wouldn't replace him with Frankie de Jong. I think getting Frankie de Jong now, if we can get him, we should get him in it. But I feel like getting him, if I had told you this maybe, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago, you'd have told me to shut up. Because I feel like we're going backwards on what we said. We're going to go and get the hidden gems instead of just spending on big ass names. And to be honest, since he's been at Barcelona, obviously I don't watch a lot of Spanish football, but from the games I have watched, he doesn't set Barca alight. He hasn't been a pinnacle player for them.
That you know what, that is a fair statement. You know what I mean? He hasn't been a kind of thing. Everybody knows his qualities, though. That's the difference. I think everybody knows De Jong's quality, but he hasn't been a kind of like a star at Barcelona. Maybe he needs them, you know, then what do you call it? Ten Hag, his old boss, to kind of bring him back to what he used to be. You know what I mean? So, but for me, in terms of Paul Pogba, would you call him a flop at Man United? Because I see some guy on Talk Sport saying that he's been the worst Man United signing basically in the last
what I got to ask is this: has Bruno been the most influential player for the last 2 years? You would say at United.
You would say so, yeah.
And what has he won?
Well, there you go.
That's what I've got to say. Harry Maguire, £80 million, British record for a centre back. What has he won?
Yeah, it's true.
And we're gonna say Pogba's a flop. If that's not the agenda, then I don't know what is. Like, football fans are no longer stupid. You have more information. You're able to attend more games. You're able to have like a more analytical view on football. So therefore, we're not just going to go off the basis of what other people say. I think a lot of people in the media talk a lot of rubbish, which is one of the main reasons why I love your channel. You allow the fans to express themselves, and you create this platform for everyone to come in and share views, whether we agree or not agree. I believe it's the paying people, the people that actually care about our club, rather than it's just these ex-footballers that used to play for our team who might be a fan of United, but they haven't been calling United crap for the last 2, 3, 4 years. They've already done it now that it's fashionable, and I think it's really disingenuous from these club black players, like these so-called legends. But me personally, like I was saying, I'd say if we can't wrap up this De Jong saga, I'd want to move away from him.
I've said that as well.
And I've only just come to the realization, after listening to, I think it was you and Nuruddin's midweek one, I'd actually opt in to get Ward-Prowse. People are going to say that I'm bonkers, but I feel like you need that type of player in your team. Every top team needs like a Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson is not like, he's not the best. He's not the best of the best. Like, every team's scratching to get him. But what he provides is obviously leadership characters, and he's going to work hard for the team. That's something James Ward-Prowse has in abundance. And obviously, he's a set piece specialist. We've obviously had problems with deliveries into the box. Sorry, I feel like if you're going to monopolize,
it's better than McTominay.
And this is what I was alluding to. Someone like McTominay and Fred, they both lack the talent to play for United. So by default, what should happen is that you have the engine or the ability to work for the team. They have none of that. So you have the talent and you don't have the work rate. Because everyone says they love McTominay for work rate, but I feel like it's pointless effort. It's either sideways passing or you're just fouling people. This whole work rate you're talking about, like even Hannibal Mabry, we like to get him. I don't want to see Sunday League shopping into challenges. I want to see people that can actually play football and work for the club. So I feel like someone like James Ward-Prowse,
fair enough.
You put him into that team, he's already going to know he's coming into a team, not necessarily going to be one of the big name stars. It's going to be people that there's a hierarchy, and he's going to want to work for the team. And there's not going to be none of this complaining about, I need to speak to the gaffer for game time. So I feel like this whole Pogba saga, I feel like another 2 more players need to go. And in my opinion, it's 2 players that me and you and everyone else wouldn't think of. Maybe a Rashford or a Maguire. I feel like once that goes, then I can be able to say I'm seeing real change. This Pogba is not real change. We all knew he was leaving.
We all knew he was going, exactly.
He should have left a long time ago. So like all of these Pogba's leaving. Just to clarify before I go as well, I just want to say once again, I think it's very disrespectful the way these people are talking about Pogba, because he's not the only one that's left. Juan Mata's left. Jesse Lingard's left. Cavani's going to leave. Yeah, Matic is going to leave. Why is no one talking about Jesse Lingard? Because he stayed at this club, even though Oli said, I'm going to give you game time. Even Stevie Wonder, as blind as he is, could have seen for a fact he knew he was not going to get a starting position. So you stayed in this club just to take Insta pics with Ronaldo and Sancho for the last 6 months of the season, and literally just to say, I want to fight for my place. You just wanted to collect your money and do the same thing Pogba's done, but because you've got a British passport, no one's going to say anything.
Nah, real talk, man. 100%, man. But nah, man, you spoke the truth, bro. Steven, I'm going to leave you to it, man. I'm going to try and get more people on, man.
Enjoy the rest of your week, man. Guys, smash the likes and the buttons, man. Smash the likes, man. And subscribe,
absolutely. Man. Please, people, make sure you like the video. Let's bring on, is it Kathil? Kathil? How are you, mate? Oh, you went there. Can you hear me?
My mic was muted, sorry.
Yeah, no worries, man. Paul Pogba, man. Is he a flop or is he someone that Man United should have got the best out of more?
Hot take. He didn't flop. He won. He won 2 or 3 trophies.
Can you sort your mic out? You're crackly. Is your mic over the hand over your mic?
Is that better?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, nah. For me, Pogba didn't flop because if you're looking at everyone, the whole fan base is saying players like Bruno are a success, and he's done loads. Pogba won us. He scored a goal in the final. But I understand it. For me, I wouldn't have kept him. 100%. He was needed. He needed to go for him and for United because the fan base was so against him. There was no way it was going to work. Like it was right for both parties for them to go. But I wouldn't say he flopped, but he didn't.
Bro, I can't hear you. Honestly, I can't hear you. It's still crackling, bro. Come sort it out. I'm gonna bring you back in next. Literally, I'll bring you back in. Try get some headphones or something. I'm gonna bring you straight back in. Yeah. Let's bring in DJ Paul. DJ Paul, you good, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing good. So I just it was Paul Pogba flop. I feel like the answer's in the middle ground, honestly, because it's for you to say Pogba flopped like the other person was saying before he dropped out. He did actually win us a trophy, so that's actually on record that he actually did win us a trophy. But I mean, was he consistent? We can't front like he was consistent every time, but that wasn't all due to his flop. And I think a question that I posed to everybody else is, if you think Pogba's a flop, then technically everybody we've bought since Ferguson retired has been a flop as well. Because we bought Varane, hasn't lived up to expectation. Sancho, not really lived up to expectations. Ronaldo, even the so-called Ronaldo, most people saying he carried us. I mean, we finished 6th with 58 points. He's had poor spells, this past season. So he hasn't been at his best. Maguire, atrocious signing.
Yeah, 85 million.
Bruno, was scoring goals, but he was a shit player. But now the goals have dried up now. A lot of people are saying, oh, wow, he's not as good as we thought he was. Van de Beek struggled to get into the team, had to go on loan. If you look at the track record of every player, everyone has struggled. Everyone has struggled. So there's always been that lack of structure problem at United, because there's no structure, there's no system. So the players always struggle. And for people who are saying Pogba is the worst signing United has ever made, first of all, we do have a player we signed called Sanchez, who legitimately scored 5 goals in 45 appearances. That's 1 out of 5. An atrocious record. And okay, fine. I think we the money wise, it wasn't expensive, but his wages were over the roof. Di Maria, we signed, didn't really live up to expectations like that. Falcao didn't really live up to expectations like that. Falcao was injured. Remember, we signed Victor Valdez. Like, if we actually want to go back and actually look at some of the players we signed back in the years, for you to come out and say Pogba has been the worst signing that we've ever signed in United history, I just feel like there's a lot of hate and there's a lot of racial bias attached to that. And this is why I'm glad he's gone, because now all this whole, we lost is Pogba's fault, it ends. So no one's going to say anything now. They're probably going to find somebody else. If Martial still stays, they probably will look to him. I don't think he would stay personally, but Fred might be another one. Sancho might be another one. So they probably would pass this on. But now it's out in the open now for everybody to see that United actually has a fundamental problem from upstairs. Everything is messed up. So honestly, at this point, I just feel like I'm happy for him. Happy for Lingard too. He's going. Matic is going to go as well. Matic is going as well. So I wish them well on their next endeavors. At least they get away from the toxicity of this club, and we could start all over again and rebuild. So
yeah, absolutely, man. We just move away now, innit? No more scapegoats in it. So we'll see, man. Time will tell. But DJ Paul, man, big up to you as always, man. Love for coming on, bro.
Yeah.
Big up to you, man. Big up Turkish in the chat. The Pogba signing was definitely a flop. There's underlining reasons as to why it didn't work out. They're out of his hands. But as 90 million homecoming, a Europa League and a FA Cup doesn't make it a success. Yeah, man. You know what? On the basis of everything, when you analyze it, I think there has to be some sort of disappointment to the signing of Paul Pogba. Let's bring back Cathil. Cathil, can you hear me now?
Is my sound better?
Yeah, you know what? At least you're not crackling, man. At least you're not crackling. Big up to you.
Okay, that's
Go
cool.
on now.
No, that's cool. Now, what I was saying was, what I just heard, yeah, Pogba he wasn't a so-called success, but I don't think you can call him a flop compared to the standard of signings we've had since post-Ferguson, really.
Mm.
Look at, like the guy was saying, Di Maria, Sanchez, it's crazy. Like the amount of players we signed, like £1 billion.
Mm. Do you reckon it's a price tag that kind of helped him, didn't help him? You know what I mean? Obviously, 90 million.
No,
Was it his
not at
choice?
all.
He came from Juve. It's United's fault if you really look at it, because we sold him for 1 million. And then next thing you know, you're always going to buy a player who did well at Juventus for that money. It's not, it's not the player's
I feel
fault,
like
is it?
even when
When
he
you look
left,
at it.
even when he left, we knew he was going to do well.
Well, there you
Like,
go.
you could tell. So why would you? I feel like it was never meant to be. Like if he's gone the first time, why would you bring someone back that left you? It's like going back to your ex. It's not going to work.
Well, there you go. It's an X for a reason, isn't it?
Exactly. But yeah, this transfer
big
window
up to
though,
you.
I think our
No,
midfield is serious. Like we need to fix it. Like I think we need 4 players, 3 to 4.
Who right now? Obviously, I personally don't think you can put De Jong as a Paul Pogba replacement. Who do you think
No.
should be a Paul Pogba replacement for you?
For me, you can't replace Paul Pogba. You need 2 to 3 players because he does. So there's no one else. I hear Rant say this a lot when he explains it. There's no one in the world that has the physical attributes and the football attributes he does. He's got like the passing of De Bruyne, but then can win the ball back like a proper DM. So for me, you need to get like I'd love Basuma, I'd love James Maddison, for like them Prem players because I'm not the biggest Bruno fan. I feel like you don't retain the ball enough for me. But I think if Donny can get back into the team, we could maybe see Donny and then 2 more. But get me Basuma, man. Obviously, only if his case goes the right way, because I don't really know what's happening there.
You know, Basuma, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Basuma's got, like, I'm not saying he's Paul Pogba, but he's got that Pogba about him, you know, the way he glides past people.
I see what you're saying.
A lot of people, obviously, he's not going to produce the qualities of Paul Pogba because he's unique. But I still think the technical ability, the way he, controls the ball with his chest, his spatial awareness. I feel like for me, the way he kind of protects the ball, it's literally like Paul Pogba. But Brighton will have a big demand now on him because of the fact that we have let Pogba go. So time will tell, bro. Time will tell. But Cathio, man, I'm gonna leave you to it, man. I'm gonna try and get many people as I can on.
No worries,
big up to you, man.
Thanks for having me on. Cheers.
Yeah, man. Anytime, bro. Anytime, man. Come on, love, man. Big up to everybody who's still watching, people. Like the video right now and let me know who you think your Paul Pogba replacement is. Let's bring on Pop. Pop, you good, bro?
Yo, say big up, bro. Enough love, man.
Come on, man. Always love, man. What are you telling me?
Yeah, bro. So, as it relates to Pogba, as I'm saying, bro, 1 minute, just big up yourself, bro. Thank you for like bringing on us, bro, because a lot of people, bro, when they reach a certain level, they have an ego, so they don't remember.
Nah, never, man. Never.
Yo,
love, man.
You're a real one, bro. So we appreciate you, man. We're not taking it for granted, bro. So,
come on, man. Love.
Yeah, as it relates to Pogba, let me get it straight with you, with me and Pogba, bro. I'm a street baller, bro. I play ball in the street, bare feet, bro. I came from that background, right? So I idolize people like Pogba, Neymar, these type of guys, Ronaldinho. So I'm one of like Pogba's like biggest patron. So I'm not a top red, I'm not a Brexit type of person that hate these type of cultural ballers, bro. So I love Pogba, bro. He's Muslim, bro. I'm from that following, bro. So when it comes to Pogba, I'm not coming from anywhere in terms of hatred or anything, bro. So my point is, I think Pogba, like his time here, he have to take 50% of the blame because the club where the club went wrong side is that I'm gonna be honest, we never had enough top quality players for us to really like say, okay, Pogba was bad or good, because we never had enough top quality midfielders, right? For you to can say, okay, he did well or he did bad. So we never had like enough talent or the team around him, as we people say, right? But on the same stretch, I'm wondering if that's a compliment to Pogba, because most of the time people are saying that he was playing with people like Marquise, Vidal, Pirlo.
Hello.
He
Yeah.
played for France with Conte. Is that really a compliment? Are you saying that he's just a player that looks good in when everything is perfect? So I'm wondering if that's a compliment, or what's the point of that? Because if I'm saying you're a top, because what you have to realize, say, you have to bring balance to the table, right? Every player cannot be the same. There's a reason why Cristiano Ronaldo is worth 140, say, mil, and a player like Jamie Vardy is worth 40 mil, right? So there's a reason why some players valid, some higher than some, because some player will bring something else to your team, right? So there have to be a difference between what a 90 million signing should bring and what a 15 million signing should bring. Daniel James versus Sancho. You expect Sancho to bring something that Daniel James can't, regardless of who is playing around. So what I'm saying is that the value on Pogba, if he's that type of player, bro, the fans are going to expect something from him, because he's not Ward Prowse, he's not Drinkwater or Bakayoko, bro. He's Paul Pogba. So that's the point. So he must take 50% of that blame, because when you look at it, said, I think Pogba suffered from being a top player too young, being around Mina Raiola. His agent had his best interest, I must admit. But at the same time, when you're a young player, said, and you're in that environment,
It is focus on football. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it kind of like, because Mina Raiola was his father figure. Remember, he lost his father, right?
Yeah, your father passed away.
So
Yeah.
maybe Mina Raiola is saying that, yo, you're a top talent, man. Go for the bag, but go for football at the same time. And he's caught between a rock, saying, yo, nah, I want to play football. But then you want to listen to that person. You understand? So
Yeah,
I think
true.
I think it was a case where he was under the influence of too many people, bro, and then he had to make up his mind, and then he made that decision too late. But what I'm saying, all I'm saying is that when you look at signing side and big game players, big team players, Pogba have to take 50%, at least half of the blame, because you have to remember, said, at some point, sometimes he's injured, sometimes he's not available, sometimes when he's on the ball, he loses the ball, because every top signing get criticized. Pepe will go down as a flop. If Grealish don't work out, he will go down as a flop. Sanchez will go down as a flop. Chelsea, Lukaku will go down as a flop. So when it comes to Pogba, bro, we can't like just look at it isolated in a way. And yes, you have the racist people, bro, that don't like people with different culture. They don't like people that's black, that express themselves, bro. I'm not talking for these people, bro. I don't like none of these people, man. Let people live their life, bro.
Yeah, of course.
If you see a man dancing, bro, we are from African descent, bro. Let people express themselves, bro. When some of you guys get up, bro, you smoke cigarette, bro, and drink coffee, bro. Most of us don't do that, man. So let people express themselves, bro. So what I'm saying, said, I'm a man, I play ball, and at times, bro, as all I'm saying, bro, at times when you're a player, you have to look out for yourself. And Pogba, to me, Pogba have to look out for himself, say. You understand? Because there's a lot of times where he could have got the move and move away, but maybe his agent was telling that now you can get an extra 50K here, linger here, stay here. So all I'm saying is that, said.
Yeah, no, 100%. I hear you, man. I hear you, bro. Well said, man.
Yeah, 50%.
50-50.
That's clear to me. 50-50, bro. That's all. And big up yourself,
Love, man. I appreciate, man. Always, man. You always speak the truth, bro.
Yeah,
so
bro.
big up to you, man.
Yeah.
Love, man. Big up to you, bro. Big up to Pop, man. Always speaking the truth, man. We're gonna bring people on, man. I can see all the background. I will bring you on one by one. Let's bring on Oli Grady. Oli Grady, what are you telling me, bro?
Yo, what's good, Slide,
Lift
man?
the camera a little bit up. Lift the camera a little bit up.
Good?
Yeah, that's calm. That's calm.
Yeah, man. with Pogba, all I've got to say is like when I looked at it, when it became our biggest signing, I would say,
Mm.
um, I felt as though the squad wasn't even good enough.
Mm.
Right after Van Gaal got sacked and Mourinho came, but I looked at the
Mm.
squad and I felt like in order for us to really get to that level and sign a player like Pogba, we should have patterned the squad like properly, like made sure we
Mm.
had like we should have accommodated the right players around him, to be honest,
Yeah.
in order to become better. But at the same time, I don't want to make any excuses because um like the last guy said, it's 50-50, man. Like especially with someone like Pogba with the ability he has.
Mm.
It's just unbelievable what he does on the ball and everything else, how he manipulates the ball. Like it's amazing. But I'll be honest with you. I would have felt like looking back, I felt like he should just stay at Juventus, and if so,
Mm.
if he wanted to take it to the next level, he should have went to like a Real Madrid or something. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Instead of a United, because I felt as though all of this abuse he was getting and all sorts just because of like how he is, his personality, it doesn't make sense because when you look at Benzema, who's living his life, if he if he flopped or something, they'll attack him. It's like, oh, why is he driving this Bugatti, man? He has to stop or anything, man. So
Yeah,
it's just
man.
like,
No little baby songs and that. You know what I mean? It's true.
yeah, man. But that's the thing because me, I have family in France and I know the culture of the French people as well and the
Mm.
way everybody is. Like they're very honest. So I think it's just the British media is just like,
Mm.
they don't like those type of characters. And that's the thing
Mm.
with football, like it's really lacking characters. I don't like when players are acting like robots, man. And it's just not
Mm.
for me, but like
Maguire.
but yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
but in terms of like replacements, I'll be honest. I really like Shumeni. Um, if
Mm.
we actually went gone for him, I'd that would be lovely. Or maybe like a Jude Bellingham. Bellingham. I would love a Bellingham to be honest because you can see the leadership in
Mm.
him. He's a future captain, whether it's for England or club level as well. And the way he is and his style of play as well.
Mm.
And Tielemans. I would love to have Tielemans as well especially under Ten Hag.
Mm.
That would be fantastic. But at the same time, overall, I'd say Pogba. It was just a 50-50 for me, to be honest. But
Mm.
it's bittersweet
Mm.
because he
Absolutely.
came
Big up
back.
to you, man.
Yeah,
No, hundred
no,
percent,
for
man.
real,
It's
for
just one of
real.
them, and it is what it is, isn't it? You get me? It didn't work out,
Yeah,
and we have to move on, man. But it's not the first, and it won't be the last. I tell you that. But big up to you,
nah,
man,
it
for
won't.
coming on, bro.
All right,
Appreciate it.
no problem.
Love, man. Let's bring on Mark Arthur. Then we're gonna bring on Rohan, and then Ben, and
Hey,
then we'll go on from there. So we'll bring
Saeed,
you on one by one, people. Mark Arthur, how are you, mate?
I'm doing good, Saeed. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. Are you not gonna say anything wild today? You're not gonna say anything
Well,
wild
I,
today?
I I might be listening to like our fans saying about Pogba. I think I have a different opinion about Pogba, but I'll share
Go for it. Go
as a
for it. Go
United
for it.
fan, a long United fan. I want to share what's in my heart because I love this
Yeah,
club.
go for it. That's what it's all
And
about. This calling show, man. Big up.
yeah, thank you. I think Pogba, to me, fairly squarely has been a flop. I was
Okay, fair
uh,
enough.
well, I was so excited when he came back because I was sad when he left when he was a teenager. Um,
Mm.
but Fergie had a plan. Fergie was winning. You couldn't complain. But when Pogba came, I really was excited. I thought he belonged to United because he was a
Mm.
teenager when he was with United. He was a lot of
Mm.
potential. He and Ravel Morrison, I really thought they would be lighting up United. They didn't. But Pogba, for me, the reason why I deem him as a flop is because I don't rate him with Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, in terms of ability, is lower than Pogba. To me, Pogba compares to Kevin De Bruyne, Luka Modric, Toni
Mm.
Kroos, like elite level, like players
Mm.
who won it in the international level and dominate in a league level. And Pogba just did not have the appetite to
Mm.
be on the field when Kevin De Bruyne was winning. If I was in Pogba's shoes, I would say, you know what? I need to be winning the way he's winning, like player of the season. He just
Mm.
didn't match that. He didn't have that mental appetite. I do not know why. I just thought that's not how winners play. And Pogba, you're solely lacking that. And I so desire the manager to induce that in him, to say, hey, in terms of talent, like in terms of your ability to run the field, in terms of your ability to take man on, and then in terms of your ability to score like worldy goals, your heading ability, you are miles above Kevin De Bruyne, and you need to be showing that week on week. He just didn't do that. And the other disappointment for me personally was his fitness levels. If you take Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, Kevin De Bruyne, and compare them for the last 6 years, who's played the least amount of games? It's Paul Pogba.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Injuries have been an issue. I think he's been out 80 games over the last couple of seasons.
So has Toni Kroos and Kevin De Bruyne. There have been times when they've said, I will put myself out there to play. And they've had that desire. And that desire, there have been players who've played with injuries in big occasions. And Paul Pogba, if he played for France, and if he had an injury, he would have said, I want to play. And that's the desire. For me, being a United fan, I've seen players do that time and time again. When you play for United, you play with that, like for me, you play with that mindset. And that's winning mindset, which has been solely lacking through the club. Pogba is not the only one to blame. But in that standard, Pogba has failed. But in terms of the players whom we've had, he is up there with one of the best. I've enjoyed watching him play. I've really enjoyed his skill. I think the other thing is playing out from the back, probably not Pogba's strength. I think he needs
definitely not.
Yeah, he needs another player like Kante or someone who can get that ability from breaking from defense to attack. He's good more. One thing I would have loved to see is swap Bruno out and put Pogba up front. I don't think he was defensively interested in doing his role.
You mean more further forward and then put Bruno a little bit
forward. Yeah, play him more like a striker because I think he was more keen on goals rather than doing the defensive work. And the fact that he was good in the air, because he's got height and physique advantage, he could dominate defenders. I would have loved to see him play in a front three, just there, rather than put him out in the back. That's just my take on Pogba as a player. And I've been thoroughly disappointed with how the relationship broke down between Pogba and his agent and Man United. There's blame on Man United part, there's blame on Pogba's part. Really, I think that could have been a lot better handled.
Absolutely. I appreciate your different side of your story, and you kind of spoke it well. So yeah, man, I appreciate it, Mark, and I'll speak to you soon, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, cool. Take care.
Thank you. Take care, man. Big up to Mark there for giving a different opinion. Guys, make sure you like the video, people. There's nearly 350 of you here. Please smash a like on the video. You know what I mean? It doesn't take a lot to like the video. So if you haven't done already, please like the video. Let's bring on Rohan. Rohan, you good?
Wagwan side.
Wagwan, man. You good, bro?
Yeah, man. Long time we not talk, man. Long time, man.
Yeah, man. Long time. How you been, man? You always come at the end of the show, man. That's why maybe when
yeah, true, man. That's how I really get for what I reason the right way, though.
Yeah, man. So, Paul Pogba, is he a flop?
I would say 50-50 as everybody said.
Yeah.
Some people. Reason being, if you analyze how Paul Pogba play for France and how he play for Manchester United, he plays the same exact way. People who are Paul Pogba fans are making excuses for him.
Okay.
Kante is Muslim as well, and you don't hear him get racial abuse. You have a lot of Muslim players out there, so stop being race night. Paul Pogba has been an average player. What made that France side so successful? You have Matuidi and Kante beside him. They do all the dirty work. Paul Pogba lose the ball just as much in a France side as how he does anywhere else. As you understand? No, I heard a guy talking earlier before saying no one player can replace Paul Pogba. That's garbage. Yuri Tillsman could give you a better work in a midfield than what Paul Pogba do. Paul Pogba is too relaxed. Money change people. Not saying he doesn't deserve his salary. You understand? Because, he's working just like how you're working here. But you understand? Paul Pogba got complacent. in his career. Paul Pogba rather to party, and he doesn't take care of himself as a football player. And don't anyone compare him to Toni Kroos or Luka Modric or Kevin De Bruyne, because the work that those players put out on the field, Paul Pogba does not. You understand? Those players, even when they're injured, them rather play. It must be dire. Enough time I see Kevin De Bruyne injured as easy and play him same way. And you can't see him look injured on the field. So stop making.
I don't think Paul Pogba has ever made a fake injury or
I'm not saying,
wanted to play for Man United. He's always wanted to play.
Body. He does not take care of himself properly.
We have got a bad injury record though. When you look at the whole kind of squad, the medical department is poor. Go on.
All right. And next thing, people are talking about this great technique and whatever. How often does he put it on the field? People, Rashford has this great kick. He has this great technique. How often does Rashford score? Technique without scoring or assisting or providing an impact on the game makes no sense. I was talking to my friends the other day, and we were talking about what do you prefer, impact or stats? Impact. Look at it, impact or stats. Zidane doesn't have a great stats in his career. You understand? And I can name Clarence Seedorf. I can name several other players who didn't have great stats, but their impact on the field made, just having this player beside of me as a midfielder, just having you beside of me, he did not have that impact in his career.
Yeah.
So
no, you said it, man.
That created that issue. Yeah.
No, I appreciate you, man.
As much as 50-50, Pasha, you have all the money in the world making. And you're a physician, dietitian, take care of your body properly.
Fair enough. No, I hear you, man. We want to hear different side of the story. That's why I didn't really kind of interrupt you. That's your opinion, and we're going to respect your opinion. So big up to you, Rohan. Love for coming on. Big up to you. No, big up to you, man. Big up to you. Let's bring on, is it Marini? Yes, brother.
Hey, Saeed, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad yourself.
Good, I'm doing good.
Yeah, man. Do you agree with the other brother there? Did you agree with him? What do you think about Pogba?
Look, the Pogba discussion, I don't think it's not a discussion we should be even having, right? You come from an educational background, so I'll give you an analogy. If you move a kid that's overperforming into a school or a classroom, that is bad, right? And you come back after 5 years. Do you expect him to raise his level and the level of the classroom, or do you expect him to sink? The failure of Pogba, as we're talking about, is Pogba cannot atone for the whole Manchester United organization. If we say Pogba is a flop, that means the coach were flop, the medical team were flop, Woodward was a flop, the whole organization was bad. So we can put the whole thing on one player. I know people tend to wake up and try to compare him to, Kevin De Bruyne or another midfielder in the Premier League. But for every midfielder they're comparing him to, they have to understand that those midfielders were not playing alone in their team. Kevin De Bruyne have a Yaya, he have the other Silva.
Silva.
So we never take those kind of things in consideration when we comparing. The structure was not good, okay, for Pogba, and we see what he can do when he's not operating in Manchester United structure. I mean, the guy got 4 Scudetto and the World Cup. I'm not even a fan of his, but I understand that in this case, you cannot blame one player for the failure of one whole organization. That just doesn't make any sense. So for me, it's just Manchester United. It's almost like we're like that salty guy that got dumped by their girlfriend. We know she's not our level. We know we're not her level, but she decided to leave, and then we're salty because she's moving on to better and bigger thing. If Pogba is not that kind of player, why is he Pep meeting with him in secret to try to convince him to come to Manchester City? Why are big clubs lining up for him? It's not because he's only moving on a free. They have to have some value. They have to see some value in him or some potential to be lining up to sign him. So the problem is our problem. It's not Pogba's problem. Okay? The worst thing he ever did was come back, and I think that was one of the worst decisions of his career. And to trust us and think that with us he can achieve bigger or better things. It did not work out. It's time to let him go.
Yeah. No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Mourinho, man, you spoke well, man. I appreciate your points, and thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Said. Have a good one.
No worries, man. You too, man. You too. Mourinho on point there. Big up to everybody who's still watching, man. Come and have your say, man. Don't be shy, people. The link is in the chat. You know what I mean? You can come and have your say. The link is in the chat, people. And make sure people to smash a like on the video. Let's get Lars in. Lars, you good, bro?
Yes, brother. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad, man. What's your opinion on Paul Pogba?
Right away, I have to say he was a flop.
Okay.
But I have to come out right away and say, but he wasn't a flop because of his talent, but he was a flop because, like my man mentioned before, the organization all around him was a flop.
Yeah.
Pogba, during his time in the Premier League, in my opinion, was, to me, and I still maintain to this day, the most talented midfielder in the Prem. Actually, in the world, in my opinion. I have never seen a player more talented. The strength, the ability on the ball, the passing, the goal scoring he can give you. But United never gave him the CDM or the CDM he needed to flourish like he has in France. Or, the type of tactical setup he had in Juventus, where he had players doing the work for him. Actually, what's funny is that Bruno came in and they gave him that, but they didn't give it to Pogba. And I'd argue Pogba is better than Bruno.
In his position, it's crazy that one. Why Man United didn't want to give him a more kind of further advanced position?
They gave it to Bruno right away, but they never gave it to Pogba, and I don't know. I don't know. They do seem to like. I don't know who it is at that club that seems to like, if you're a big player, they're going to put you in a midfield 2 or in a CDM role, kind of like what they do to McTominay. Even if it's not your position, they're going to force you to fit in. I don't know what coach or whoever in the board is forcing people to do that, but it seems very strange,
Absolutely. Lars, man, big up to you, man, for coming on, man. I appreciate you calling in, bro.
All right.
Love, man. Come on, man. Big up to you, Lars, man. Gonna try and bring on as many people as we can. Chops TV, bro. Been a while, man. Been a while.
So you guys, I know. I've been busy. I have been watching though.
Come on, man. Love, man.
Congratulations on 50K subscribers as well, man.
Come on, man. Come on, bro. You already know, man. It's all love, man. It's all love, man.
I'm not having what my man said earlier. Like, yo, Paul Pogba is not a flop, bro. I'm telling you. £90 million.
Go on, explain.
£90 million, yeah, I do get the argument because it is a lot of money for him to just come and win a Europa League and a League Cup. But like, it's the media for me that have more like got into people's minds and that, because like they talk about his haircuts when you see a man like Phil Foden doing that, but no one says anything. Like it's just the whole bias with the dancing. Like who cares? Like he's just like, he's a human being. You get me? He's a footballer, and then people forget. Like you see when Man City would have won the league that season when he scored twice. Derby away from home when we were 2-0 down. That was down to him. Europa League final, he scored the opening goal. Down to Paul Pogba. He played the part in when we won the League Cup as well. Paul Pogba.
You know his consistency. A lot of people talk about his consistency, why he's never been able to kind of do it season to season. Be our catalyst, be our kind of our Kevin De Bruyne, or our kind of person who can be that difference.
We played him in too many positions, fam.
There you go. Go on, speak about it.
Do you remember when Mourinho was in charge? Mourinho was talking about this geezer could be a good centre back, like our best creative player. He's talking about playing centre back. And do you know why people get onto him as well more? Because he doesn't run around as much as like a Kante does or whatever. But like some people comparing Pogba to Kante, like that's me saying, yo, they don't understand football, fam. Because on the football, on the ball, Kante cannot chat to Paul Pogba. They're not even close. Like ability-wise, they are not even close. But it's because Kante like runs like 100 miles per hour, like, and he's non-stop and that. It looks like he's trying hard. But you don't see Juan Mata doing that, and Juan Mata's class. Like Mata don't run around the pitch, but he's just class, but no one speaks about that. I just think it's like it's more than just football. Do you know what I'm saying? And like, trust me, like he's going to Juventus here. We offered him 400 grand a week to stay here. Do you know how much he's going to be on at Juve? 145 grand.
What is that? What they mentioned?
Yeah, I've seen it on Twitter earlier. That's what they're saying.
Wow. So you just
That's
go
what
to
I'm
show,
saying.
man.
So
It's not about money,
the
is it?
United. Exactly. He just has ambition.
But that just shows you about people. You know what I mean? Exactly. You know what, man? Guy took a pay cut to leave you. Man, are tired going trophyless. Exactly. Ambition.
It's
Maybe
about winning.
Yeah. Exactly. Now I hear you, man. How do we replace him, bro? How do we replace him?
We need more than one player to replace Paul Pogba, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like for me, I say I want Frankie De Jong. We need to sign him at all costs. I don't want us to play like extortion amount of money for him, but we need to sign him. Then get a CDM on top of that. What else? An inverted winger probably as well would help, and obviously a striker, and just like build a team the way Ten Hag would want to play football in it. Then like the more, if say for example we see good football next season, like because we haven't seen it for God knows how long, no one's gonna be talking about Pogba. Do you know what I mean? It's just like it's more people that hate him the most that talk about him the most. Do you know what I mean? And people that rate him just can see with their eyes that he is a very good player. Do you know what I'm saying? So I
hey man, we just got
this black business.
But we'll see in it. We'll see what happens post Pogba in it. We'll see who if United win trophies in it, and
we let Ralph go.
Players. Well, there you go. Exactly. So we'll see, man. But Chops TV, bro. People, make sure you subscribe to Chops TV, man. And big up to you, brother. Thanks for coming on, bro.
No problem.
Come on, man. It's all love, man. It's all love, man. Let's bring on my guy Eddie. Eddie Munch, what are you telling me, bro?
I'm good, man. I always appreciate you at work. So
come on, man. Love, man. You already know, man.
I'm gonna read one thing, and then I want a lot of other people to get in. I know I'm blessed enough to be able to come on here a lot of times, but I just want to read this one thing. Ragnick valued Pogba's efforts to mediate aspects of the dressing room. He was also one of the players to command major respect from Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo said he wished he had played with Pogba at Real Madrid because of his variety and quality of passing. Pogba lobbied Ronaldo to be more constructive with feedback for younger players, such as when Jadon Sancho failed to square the ball when through against Brighton in February. And then there's another story here about where when a team conversation turned for the worse, Pogba took it upon himself to go to Ragnick and apologize for his teammates' actions. It's unfortunate that we're at a point where a player the likes of a Paul Pogba will leave a $400,000 contract to go to Juventus to sign for $145,000. That never used to happen at our club. So, unfortunately, in this time, Paul Pogba has become the perfect scapegoat for Man United's inaccuracies in the footballing world. Like, he has just became the center of it all. If you've had a frustration with the marketing or even the football or the board, you could see Pogba and you could criticize him to get your frustration out. There is nothing Paul Pogba could have done to satisfy certain people in the climate that Manchester United find themselves in right now. Absolutely nothing. We are a shell of ourselves, and our fans are hurting because of it. And because of that $90 million price tag, again, relative to other people, I get you want to call him a flop, but relative to United, who else has brought us 2 trophies? Who else has gone into the city's den and put on one of the most breathtaking performances I've ever seen in my life? Who has afforded us those types of opportunities? It's been Paul Pogba. So in the grand scheme of things, if you want to call him a flop, I understand. That's your prerogative. That's your opinion. But I just think the facts would suggest that to call him a flop is a bit more egregious. If you want to say it didn't work out, that's fine with me. I can honestly sit here and say the Pogba signing did not work out the way
on
that
both parties, on both parties. Yeah.
But to sit here and say that man is a flop when he literally is the same person, right? Going to another football team, showing you exactly what you want to see. But when he comes back here, somehow it all disappears. Just magically, he just forgets how to play football. You can't make it make sense to me, bro. So I want to let other people go on. And
I appreciate it, man. I think for me, you've been the most interesting call of the night in terms of just explaining to people the difference between calling a flop and having other external reasons for basically our failure. You know what I mean?
That's
I think,
it.
yeah, absolutely. Now, Eddie, man, real talk, man. I appreciate you coming on, man, and
Always, brother.
clarifying that,
Always
man.
keep killing it, my guy.
Come on, man. Love, man. Big up to Eddie in the chat, man. Big up to you, bro. Love for coming on. People, there's nearly 400 of you in the chat, man. Let's at least get 250 likes, people. If you're watching right now and you haven't liked the video, then I don't know what you're doing, man. So please, guys, like the video. Let's bring on my guy, Yusuf. Yusuf, man, last time you couldn't make it, but you're here today. What are you telling me?
Salam, how's it, Said?
Salam, bro. You good, bro?
All right, and you?
Come on, man.
You're
We're
really
good.
telling me this football club's calling Paul Pogba a flop? Let
Well,
me spit some facts here. At the height of our powers in 2014, we signed a young Paul Pogba from Le Havre. We had to pay 100,000 rand in penalties to Le Havre for taking one of the best youngsters. Right? In the youth team, the coaches didn't know what position suited him back best. It just shows how bad the coaches and the scouting network is at the club. I mean, we 16, 17 years later, we still don't know what his best position is. But in saying that, I think Pogba just came a generation too late. I think in an earlier generation with the likes of the great number 10s, Riquelme, Del Piero, and that sort of thing, he would have fitted in.
Yeah, that's true. You know, someone said that about impact players. You know, maybe he was a more of an impact player that would, you know, not get the goals and assists that you would want, but you would know that he was a world-class player, if you know what I mean.
But it's to say, I mean, you'll see what he does at Juventus. Even if he goes to Juventus, he's not going to be consistent. It's not part of his makeup. That's why he's such a great player for France. He can play 2-3 games on a high level, and he lacks consistency. He lacks consistency. He lacks consistency at Juventus as well. That's Paul Pogba. That's what you buy. If we thought we were buying him to make him the main man, I mean, we got it twisted.
Yeah, that's true. But that's what United did, though. That's what when United bought him, the commercial, you know, you see it with the advert with Storms, the Adidas.
Yeah.
They hailed him up as one of the kind of the, you know, the next big thing, you know, the biggest signing ever since probably, I would say, when Rooney came in with that kind of baggage, you know, when he came in, the golden child, you know,
yeah,
and
but
he lived up to it, but he was, you know.
His personality is not made up to deal with that sort of pressure. But in saying that, the 2017-2018 season, when he kept Solskjaer in the job, there wasn't a midfielder in England better than him. I mean, look at his numbers in 2017 and 2018. I mean, it was ridiculous.
You mean 18-19? You mean 18-19?
I mean 18-19 when we forced our way when Solskjaer kept his job.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was a flop. I think we didn't understand what we were buying. I think his numbers and Patrice Evra said the same thing. I mean, his stats for us was better than what it was for Juventus. I mean,
yeah, it's true. But again, it's in the context of winning trophies, and that's what the ultimate difference is. We didn't the trophies didn't come with the kind of, I'm not saying the hype with Paul Pogba, but again, you know what I mean. If we'd have won more trophies, but that comes down to Man United making managerial decisions. You know, making certain.
I mean, the club
comes down to loads of things.
Joke.
Yeah.
I mean, Fergie played him when Fergie gave him his debut. He played him on the right wing.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Well, there was a game when Fergie didn't play him. I think that's when he left. When
he played Raphael
and Jones.
Fabio, when he played Raphael and Fabio instead of him. I mean, I can understand it.
So,
but he isn't a flop. He's one of the best midfielders of our generation. I think so.
There you go, man. Yusuf, big up to you, man. Love for always coming on, man. Appreciate it, bro. Come on, man. Love to Yusuf for coming on. Big up to everybody who's still watching, man. Please smash a like on the video. I will bring people on. Let's bring on Axel. Axel, you good, bro? Yeah, I don't know what he's writing. He's just writing some notes and that. What's going on with my man? Yeah, man. I don't know what he's doing there. He's writing some Pogba notes. Axel, I'll come back to you. When you finish your notes, bro, I'll finish. You know what I mean? I think he's looking to go in on Pogba there, man. He's writing notes, brother. Kaimo, you good, bro?
What's good, Saeed, man? Man,
yeah,
Saeed,
not too bad.
I never come on the show. I'm a big watcher of the show, by the way.
Love, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, congratulations on the show. It's an amazing show. But today, bro, I had it on my spirit to come on.
Come on. Now you got your time.
I heard so much like I don't even know, like especially even in English media or even on this show. Like today, I don't know what has gone into people, bro. Like Eddie described it best, this current situation. And at the moment, I think a lot of people are just going on agendas, and like
Yeah.
going whatever everyone else is saying. And at the end of the day, Saeed, I wanted to ask you this actually.
Mm.
I wanted to ask you, for the last 5 years, for the last 10 years,
Mm.
what is Manchester United more of? A commercial club or a football club?
Commercial.
It's a commercial club. It's a
Mm.
commercial club. So my argument is he's been the most successful footballer for the last 10 years if it's a commercial club,
Mm.
you know.
So why
He
could
does.
you complain? You saying? Why are you complaining? Basically
Why are we
saying.
complaining? Why are we complaining so much? This was not a football project. For Pogba to come back was not a football decision. It really was a commercial decision. And that's why, look, this guy has a documentary coming out. I mean, that shows you how much of
Yeah.
a commercial club this is. And I just when people talk and say he's been a flop and all this stuff, it really gets on my nerves because I'm like, what are you talking about?
Mm.
You know?
It's true. No, no, it's and now it's going to be a big hole to fill. Now, obviously, we don't have the technical players that a player like Paul Pogba. Who out there for you would you replace Paul Pogba with if there is any player?
Man, to be honest with you, for me it's a big hole to fill. It's really a big hole to fill. A lot of people won't believe that, but it's a huge hole to fill. I like there are few guys out there. I mean, people are talking about De Jong. I mean, I'm not too sure about De Jong, to be honest with you. And
Mm.
again, he's just a commercial signing. I don't think he's a good football player, but
Mm.
he's not what we need at the moment. So I'll be
Mm.
looking at, for instance, like I've seen Bissouma. I've seen him do some good things. There's this kid from PSV, like I forgot. It's like an African guy, and he's
PSV.
Sangare or something like that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. I know that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's the perfect like number six. He
Mm.
would be unbelievable for us. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
Okay.
I don't even like I'm so stressed. I don't even want to talk about this. Like
No, no, no.
who's
Big up to you, man, for coming on, Kaimu, man. Where you from, by the way? Where you from?
Now I'm from Namibia, man. So
Yeah,
South.
big up to you, man. I appreciate it, man.
All
Love,
right.
bro. Big up to you, man. Big up to you. Let's bring the guy that was doing notes before. Yes, brother. What you writing?
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, man. You look like you're
Sorry?
writing notes. Is he writing notes about Pogba? Let me know what's the notes about Pogba.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's about Pogba. It's about Pogba.
Yeah, man. Let me know, man. Let the people know.
So I'm just gonna say Pogba has not been a flop in the way of he's not a good player. I think he's a flop in his injuries and
Okay.
in his talking with other teams, like his flirting with Real Madrid or his agent talking out of terms and not respecting the club. I can understand fans being mad at Pogba for that, but as far as being a player, he's not been a flop. I think he's had inconsistent games, which we can say about every single player in the United team since he signed, because we've spent over 1 billion, and there's not one player in that team that we can say we actually like, apart from De Gea and Ronaldo.
Mm.
So the case of Pogba being a flop isn't about his ability. It's more about a team or a system, especially someone that plays midfield. Because in midfield it's like a system. It's an engine that you have to build it properly. Like you can't have one part like of like Pogba's a flashy player, right?
Mm.
It's like having one part of the engine is good, but the rest of the engine is bad. So at the end of the day, that system will not run properly. And that's what we did with Pogba. We brought Pogba in, but who do we have to support this kind of player? We have McTominay, we've had Fred, we've had Matic, we've had Herrera.
Mm.
Are these players really good players? Are these players that will elevate United forward? I don't think so. I think if we had a midfield of Modric, Cruz, and Casemiro, and then anytime we would like sub Pogba in, then he would play bad. Then I would say Pogba is a flop. But when you've had midfielders being consistently horrible and consistently changing every season, you cannot
Can't
get a
build a
consistent
foundation.
performance out of Pogba. And if you look at Pogba for France, he's always playing.
Yeah.
Sorry?
It's not as if he's not playing for France. Yeah, you're right. It's not as if he's not playing for France.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's always playing for France. Like, no matter how bad he plays for Man United, he's always playing for France. That means there's a player there who always turns up for France because they have a system, they have a style of play, they know what they're doing. And Pogba's job isn't always to go forward. He can pick the ball up and ping the ball, and that's the strength they use. And that's why Pogba plays so good for France compared to Man United. I think he's not been a flop, but he's not been great either. I think he's in between. So to brand him a flop, for me, I think that's very harsh.
Nah, big up
But
to
that's
you,
all I
man. I
have to say.
appreciate the balance in your thinking, and keep up the notes, man. Next time, bring the notes again, man. Big up to you, bro. Love, love. Big up to you, man. Big up to everybody who's watching, people. If you're still here and you're still watching and you haven't liked the video already, please like the video, people. Helps us out, man. You know what I mean? Big time. Let's bring up BZino. BZino, what are you telling me?
Yo, man. Nah, are you good, bro?
Yeah, not too bad, bro. What are you telling me?
Nah, I'm good, man. Nah, I've been wanting to do calling for a bit, and I didn't even know how to do it, but obviously I'm here now, so love for that.
Come on,
Anyway.
man. So
But
love,
yeah,
man.
man.
So love.
Nah, man. Obviously I'm a bit late to the show, and I've just tuned in about 10 minutes ago. You get it? But I know you talk about Pogba and that, but I'm just thinking. I wanted to say something in it because obviously, like, you know, this clear out everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really buying into the clear out really, because most of the first team players are like they're staying. You get it?
It's true.
So,
you know what? I think that's a good point you make there. Most of them just the free transfers are actually going, but the actual ones that we need to get out,
trust
they need
me,
to go.
They're talking about Pogba leaving. Pogba's behind the scenes, anyways. You know what I'm saying? He barely played this season. They're on about, I don't know, AWB. Obviously, that lot, it's the same thing, really. But I'm just thinking about what happened in it. Yeah, man. That's all I want to say.
What about Paul Pogba? Pogba, is he a flop or not? Let me know your opinion.
I won't say a flop. I think he's helped us win our last title. You get it? Like, people always downplay the Europa League. They're like, it's not really the trophies you want to be winning. But for me, as a Man United player or coach, you shouldn't be neglecting any trophies. That's what I'm thinking. But no, I don't think he's a complete flop. Obviously, he didn't reach the potentials he could have. But at the same time, who has when they've come? You get it?
Exactly.
I feel like
who has? It's true.
The team which kind of Jose left, I think that was actually more like a team surrounding him with good players. I feel like the team that has been playing with under Oli, I feel like that's. Let me not even get started into that. You know what I'm saying? But
it's true, man. Nah, love, man. BZino, man. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Come on, love, man. Big up to everybody who's still waiting. I will come to you one by one. I, Kevin, Noah, Derek, Gary, Sham, all you lot. I'm gonna come to you one by one. Let's get my guy Anas on. Anas, what are you telling me?
Yo, you good?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad, man. The Paul Pogba debate, man, it's getting everyone. You know what I mean? It's a good debate, man. It's the only player I think that divides opinion. You know what I mean? You either like him or you don't. You know what I mean? There's no in between.
Only playing world football that gets treated the way he gets treated. I've never seen any other player get treated like the way he does.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy. I mean, I'm not gonna. Obviously, I love Paul Pogba. He's my favorite player.
Yeah.
I don't think he's been a flop. I don't think anyone can say he's been a flop. The last trophy we won, he scored in the final. He had I think he even won performer of the tournament. Like, he dragged Man United through so much mud. Like, we wouldn't even have a midfield if it weren't for him. Like, how many times in seasons where we're like, oh, our midfield looks all right, no endeavor. It was literally Pogba just made it look better. And now you're looking at the midfielders that are left. Oh my, it's shocking. Like, it's so we lost I only clocked that we lost Matic as well, and then we lost Pogba.
Yeah. Same. I know, it's crazy.
And when I looked at the midfield options, I'm like, oh my days, we are actually fucked. Like, it's peak. Like, it's so bad. Like, even if we get De Jong, we're still it's not enough. Like, we need 2-3 midfielders to replace him. You know what I mean?
Who's out there though? I like Basuma, if I'm being honest with you. I think he's got similar qualities in Pogba.
Yeah,
If you get a Basuma and another midfielder with him, maybe like a De Jong or someone like that, maybe he could replace Pogba. But it's going to be difficult when the qualities in Pogba, you know what I mean, and you don't get consistency. You might have consistency, but then you might
yeah,
have the quality of a game who could change a game on his own.
yeah.
That's the difference, isn't it? You know what I mean? Consistency. Everybody can get consistency, but if you don't have the quality with that consistency, it's really
That's
nothing, isn't
tough.
it?
And that's the thing. Like, I think he said that so many times in interviews. I remember when he first signed and he did an interview with Thierry Henry, and Henry said, like, where do you prefer to
Yeah, I
play?
remember
And
that
he
one.
said, I want to play on the left of a midfield three. I see myself as someone who comes inside with his right foot and create. I think before this international break, the one before, he even said like, in France, I know what I'm doing. I know I'm gonna play here. We're playing this sort of way. At Man United, I've played like 3-4 positions, and it's hard to gain consistency. But every rival fan, every pundit's like, nah, how can you say that? Then they start comparing him to Gerrard and like, oh, Gerrard played here. Bro, that's Gerrard, isn't it? Like, no, I don't care about Gerrard. He didn't win nothing though. You get me? So I don't get what your argument is as well. Like with Pogba, it's always been inconsistent. But Man United has not won a league title for nearly a decade. How can we just
There you
blame
go.
one player?
But we'll see that after he goes, we'll see
Yeah,
what
this is
the
what I mean. Because now he's
yeah.
gonna be peak. Now who they're gonna blame? Because they can't blame Pogba, they can't blame Lingard, they can't blame Martial, they can't blame no one now. So it's gonna be funny. But one
It
thing I will
is.
say is I don't think he should go Juventus Pogba. That's a wrong
He's
move for
taking a
me.
apparently he's taking a pay cut to go there. So I think he just
I
wants
don't
to
know,
maybe look
man.
at this next project. But we'll
Uh,
see. I think Real Madrid are looking at Tuchel. They're
yeah,
still kind of going on that route. I think Juventus have always got this love story with Pogba. And I
yeah,
think
but I don't
the
know, man.
Juve
Like
league, the Italian league, I think he suits it the best for what he can do. So we'll see, man.
he
We'll see.
can,
But yeah.
yeah.
But nah, man. Love for coming on, bro. And that's man. I
Big up,
appreciate every
bro.
time, man. Big
I
up to you,
love.
bro. Love, man. Big up to you for coming on, man. Let's bring on Sham. Sham, how are you, brother?
Hey, good man. How you doing, Said?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad, man. What's your opinion on Paul Pogba, man? Do you reckon Man United failed him, or do you reckon it's been a flop?
Yeah, I mean, I think the interesting way that I look at it is, if you asked me today, would I want to keep Paul Pogba for next season? My answer would be no. My answer would be that I would rather get other investment in those opportunity in those midfield positions. And I
Yeah.
think if you ask the question that way, a lot of people would probably agree with that point of view, because it is probably time that Pogba isn't, that we need to get different players in that position. And I think when you go back to what Pogba is, many people said it, and I agree with it, is Pogba is kind of one of those cherry on the top players. You need to have a system in place with great characters in order for him to play. And obviously we haven't had that. So is Pogba a flop? Probably the signing was a flop. Probably the timing that we got the signing, was probably not what we wanted it to be. Yes, we won a Europa League, and fair enough for all the guys who sort of say that is the success period. But I don't think at 90, 80 million, whatever we signed him for, the Europa League is considered, I would say, a success. Really, I mean, which if we had to talk about opposite of a flop.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know
you know
what
what I mean. You know
yeah,
what I mean.
yeah.
But if we had a midfield that can play the way that accommodates Pogba, we're talking about two destroying, fighting midfielders out there, and you pretty much got to set up that France had and put him in the top. I would say that'd be the time. I think, yeah, it's a combination of things, but I think the primary issue is that we haven't got the structure, and we haven't got the team in place to accommodate someone like Paul Pogba. And like I said, I won't take Paul Pogba for next season, and that's exactly the reason why. So tough answers. There's no straightforward answer to say it.
No, there isn't.
You know what I
Who
mean?
would you
But,
replace Paul Pogba with? Who would you replace him with if you had to pick a replacement for Paul Pogba?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. Okay, so for me, it's like also again, sorry to not answer directly, but it's not really like a replacement for Paul Pogba. Like one of the things that Pinar said, which is interesting and a bit worrying, is he said that the way he plays is based on the team, the players to his selection. And what players we have right now, the type of way we play, in this kind of the two holding midfields we have right now, it's not the real way that I want us to play, or not the way that I think Ten Hag would like to play. So to replace Pogba is not really my point of view on it. My point of view is more to get the players in place, especially in that midfield engine, that can play the way that we get Ten Hag to play the way he wants to play. So that's kind of my answer. And I think we need at least 2 to 3, well, at least 2 in there, but 3 would be ideal. And would that be the profile of a Paul Pogba? I still don't know. Whether that's it. Because, I mean, if you look at that Ajax team, you look at Gravenberg, was it Janssen? I think the guy's name is. Even Berghuis, who drops into the middle. They're all very different from what you see Paul Pogba to play. And I'm not saying that Paul Pogba can't come into a system that Ten Hag plays, but there does need to be a different foundation in place before someone like Paul Pogba comes in. So,
Absolutely. Nicely well put, man. Big up to you, Sham. Thanks for coming on, bro.
All the best, man. Sir.
All the best, man. Big up to you, man. Big up to you. Let's bring on Ikovin. Ikovin, sorry for the wait, bro. You good?
No problem, man. Yeah, I'm just a bit nervous, bro. Tomorrow morning, I've got my. in the morning, I've got my team in the NBA Finals. So.
Oh yeah, Boston Celtics, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Big up to you, man. Good luck. It's a game of 7, though, isn't it? So don't worry.
Yeah,
man.
It's game of 7. Yeah, so it's the first one. So let's hope we get the win.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. Paul Pogba, man. Flop or not?
50-50, because I know a lot of people have been saying that he's not a flop. He's a flop. Let's put it like two sides. For the price tag that he's come for, he's not lived up to expectations. With the media pressure, he's had to handle it. He's had to handle a lot of the pressure that coming into the media. You see Graham Souness, the guy's been going on to Pogba. Everything he does, everything he posts on social media, everything he does off the field, Graham Souness is always onto him. There's always British media after him. There's always so it's been difficult for Pogba to deal with off the field. On the field, you can see that the quality is there, but at times he's not consistent enough. Like I've seen it. I've seen the best of Paul Pogba, but he's not shown it consistently enough to be that Manchester United quality. But he is still a world class player. Don't get me wrong. I still think he'll go and kill it at Juventus, like how he did, because they made it to the Champions League final with him. I think what Paul Pogba has been doing for France, it's nothing to do with Man United. I just think that the players that he's played with, the chemistry that he can play with like Kante next to him, he can play with someone like Griezmann, Mbappe. There's quality players there. You have quality players next to him. You can't play with McTominay and Fred. And I'm sorry, at midfield that Pogba's playing in, Pogba cannot play with McTominay and Fred. But the good sides of Pogba is you've seen it last season. The contributions that he's given, he's scored some good goals. So he's actually scored some crucial goals. Remember the goal against Fulham last season? That is a Pogba I want to see. I want to see him turn up in big moments. But his role is not always to score goals. People look at goals and assists. I think it's more to do with the overall play as a team. And I think Paul Pogba's ball progression is slow. It's a bit slower than what most people think. But at the same time, his passing is so is really good. Like you see him pick out a good pass. You can see him create a good chance. But does he do that often? No, he does not. And that's my problem. I don't think so I'm more to the flop side, but I would have loved for him to succeed, man. I feel gutted for him. He didn't deserve that abuse at Anfield, bro.
No, definitely not.
The abuse that he deserved at Anfield is absolutely disgusting. Like you should not be doing that to your own player. He's especially he's been an academy product here. Yes, Paul Pogba has shown some attitude issues at times, but in the end of the day, he's a Manchester United player, and I have to thank Paul Pogba for coming back. You know why? You know what? We all thought, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona are all going to step him up. He had a soft spot for Man United in the end of the day. He wanted to come back and still prove himself at the club that he made his name. Not made his name, but how do you call it?
He was at the youth level. He was a youth team player.
At the youth level,
He came in on his
where we
16.
brought him up.
So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so he came back and he wanted to try, but it didn't work out for him in the end. So, but we could have sold him a couple of years ago for money, and we're just pulling off another Arsenal here, letting go of the best players on a free, not giving them a 1-year extension just to sell them. We should. It's like a buy and sell thing. We should have done that. It's like not buy and sell, extension and then sell, because that's what good clubs will do. Good clubs would extend a contract just to sell for money. But we didn't do that with Pogba. We didn't do that with Matic. We could have sold them for money. The fact that we sold Darmian for 1 million was a joke. But we can let go of Juan Mata, Matic, Pogba, Lingard for free.
Absolutely.
Lee Grant retired, so that's nothing to do with the money. But we freed up around £1 million in terms of wages now.
We need to use that then. So let's hope that this club use it. Yeah, man. But big up to you, man.
I really hope we get Frankie De Jong, and hopefully we can replace someone. If I wouldn't mind Kante, but I think we're 6 years late to signing him. Could have signed him when he was at Leicester, when Mourinho was in charge at United. Remember that?
I know. But again,
Chelsea snapped him up.
this club's always late though. They bought Matic late as well, so
I wouldn't mind Kante, but sign someone with him, because I wouldn't want Kante to be the sole signing. We just don't sign anyone else. I wouldn't want that. I would sign more players along. But hopefully they don't ask for too much wages, man. Because then we'll drain the wage bill again, and it's gonna be, and we're not gonna make space for another player, like, because now we freed up 1 million. We could easily use that but spend it wisely. That's where I want. So
absolutely, man. Big up to you, man. Good luck to the Celtics, man, tonight, man.
Oh yeah,
big
come
up
on,
to you,
let's
man.
go. Cheers,
Love, man. Come on, man. Big up to you, man. Let's bring on Gary Clark. Big up to everybody who's still watching, people. Guys, if you haven't liked the video already, please like the video. It's not hard to do it. All you got to do is click the like button, people. Gary, what are you saying, bro?
Hello. I think the club has failed Pogba, and Pogba's kind of flopped himself as well, because obviously the club changing managers hasn't helped them. The players around him haven't helped them. So the club do have to take a lot of responsibility, especially when he was 24 and they're always talking about rebuilding, bringing in new managers. When a player's 24 going into their prime years, you can't really be talking about rebuilding, because it does them no good. And he's won a couple of trophies. He has been injured quite a lot of the time. He's been inconsistent in his attitude sometimes. But I think he's been okay, maybe 5 out of 10 if you're rating his time since he signed. So it's kind of a bit of both, I think. But I think he has been treated harsh and with the media and stuff. But no, I think he's been okay. But hopefully we'll replace him, because he is a talented player.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's just a time of what Man United do. If you're going to one player, who would you replace him with if you had one player to buy in world football right now?
Well, I know this is maybe a bit unlikely, but I would like Jude Bellingham to come in and keep.
All right, okay.
Because he's physical, he's a bit like Pogba in terms of he's physical, he's good on the ball, he's a good passer of the ball. I know hopefully we're getting De Jong, but to be honest, Lingard's gone, Mata's gone, Matic is gone. I think we need at least 3 midfielders. So hopefully maybe De Jong, Bellingham, and maybe Bissouma or someone like that would be pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Big up to you, Gary, man. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. We'll try to get to all these callers as quickly as we can, people. Let's bring on Reese. Reese, how are you, man?
Hey, Sahid.
How are you?
Good, man. Good, thank you. How are you?
Nah, not too bad, man. Not too bad, man. We're just discussing Pogba today, whether United failed Pogba or he failed himself and he was a flop. Where do you see it? Where do you see Pogba?
Well, I've always been on the stance that Pogba did everything he could do for the club. Pogba, the only 2 trophies we won, Pogba won them for us.
Yeah.
People talk about his attitude. I don't know what attitude they're talking about.
Well, it's the old saying, isn't it? It's the old chestnut attitude, isn't it, with players like him?
And the kind of treatment that some of the fans gave him. You cannot, even as I work I work in the software development industry, right? So
Yeah.
it's an industry where competence can really be measured. So you cannot put someone above me that is not as competent, and you think that I will really give in 100%, because the truth is, the way Pogba has been treated has been appalling, even by the club and by the fans. Like they abuse, they insult. So at times I just tend to think that it's not about football, because Pogba is better than all the midfielders that we have, and he still get this type of treatment. So I just think that it's not about football again when it comes to Pogba, right? Because everything he does, he gets criticized. If he scores a hat trick, he gets 4 assists in the game, he gets criticized. And when when he's not even playing, Pogba still get criticized. Like it's always Pogba's fault, right? So I don't know what more Pogba could have done. And they
Well,
said, okay,
I think
he's
it's
just
time
here
for
for
him to go then, isn't it? I think it comes down to the fact that maybe it's time for United to realise that, you know what, no.
Absolutely. If I was Pogba, I would have been gone 3 years ago.
Yeah, same. Mourinho, you should have left when Mourinho left.
Right. And so now that's just it, Sahid. Look at this guy Cavani. He sticks up his middle finger to the fans, and the fans are cool with that, right? But Pogba cannot do that, right? Pogba cupped his ears, and everybody's talking about that. But he cupped his ears because they were insulting him. He didn't insult them back. He said, "Insult me more," right?
Yeah.
So, and that's too bad. That's worse than sticking up your middle fingers to the fans, according to some Man United fans. So it's what it is, Saeed. Let's see how they get better now that Pogba is gone. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. But big up to you, man. Chris, thank you for coming on, bro. Appreciate you coming on and giving your time.
No
and your
problem,
opinion.
Saeed. Thank you for having me.
Big up to you, man. Love to you, man. Let's bring on Ryan. Then we're gonna bring on Derek, Noah. You all, I will be coming to you as soon as I can. Lord Nelson, you need to put your camera on as well, mate. Big up to you, Ryan. What are you telling me? You good?
Big up, say, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad, man. We're just talking about Paul Pogba. Give me your opinion on Paul Pogba. Has it been a flop, or do you think there's a different side to it as well?
I think there's a bit of both. I don't think it's fair to call him a flop. Came in for record fee for sure. Definitely could have done better for the club. But if you look at it, so you tell me, I mean, we got Mourinho first season. He comes in, he says Pogba plays in a midfield two. Then the next season he goes, and then we start playing in a midfield three. Then of course Mourinho leaves, and then we have like a freestyle football. So he doesn't know. We don't have a system of play that we can say Pogba is responsible for this. You know, he played as a left winger last year for like half the season. So it's not fair to necessarily say he's a flop, because I still don't know what his role was. You know, going from midfield 2 to midfield 3 is not an easy thing. When Bruno comes in, Pogba's supposed to be like the attacking player on the team. Bruno comes in, and then Pogba takes less of an attacking role on the team. So not necessarily fair to say, yeah, he's a flop for sure. And next thing I would say is that thing I can go at Pogba for is, I'm going to read this to you because I was doing this while you guys were going. First season he misses 8 games in the Premier League. Okay. Second season, 2017-2018, misses 11 games in the Prem. 18-19, okay, he played most of the season. 19-20, only had 16 games played, missed 22 games, and he only came back because that was a COVID season. Last season, 26 games, so he missed 12 games in the Prem. This season, missed 18 games. So he hasn't been fit the whole time, and especially the last few years, he has not been fit for the team, and he hasn't been there. So that's what I can really give him slack for. And yeah, he could have done better, but who has been a successful signing, Saeed, in the past
This
few
is the
seasons?
question.
Yeah.
This is the bigger picture, isn't it? You know, I mean, when you look at the bigger picture, there isn't much success on the pitch, is there? You know what I mean? And that's the problem. Difficult to replace him, but who do you want to kind of replace him with? Who's out there for you that can get in to the Paul Pogba role?
It's a good question. I think we have one sitting in our team, honestly, but I don't think I'm not sure how much is going to be used. I think Van de Beek can play in that
midfield too. If you ask me, I think he's if we're going with a different style of play, I don't think he's the same profile as Pogba, not at all. He can't arguably not enough skill set, but if we're going with that style of play, I think why can't Van de Beek fit in? But I think Ten Hag has like a different vision. That's the reason he's going after De Jong. So I mean, I'd say De Jong, and if we can't go after De Jong, stick Van de Beek in that midfield too. And I think he could do a job there.
Absolutely. Big up to you, Ryan, man. Appreciate you coming on, bro.
Big up, say appreciate it. Great content.
Love, man. Appreciate it. Big up to you, Ryan. Let's bring on Lord Nelson. Lord Nelson, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad, man. We're just discussing Paul Pogba. What's your opinion on Paul Pogba? Is he a flop or is
Flop? Flop.
Oh,
Flop.
straight in there. Straight in
Flop.
there. Give me your opinion.
Flop.
Why you think it's a flop?
Price tag for the for status. Price tag, hype. What else? Performances. Like injuries. Complaining about that player. What else? Is a flop.
Everything you said
It's
there,
flop.
everything. You know what? You make the points there, but everything you said there, the price tag, is he in control of that? Injuries, is he in control of that? I would say performances, yes. I can agree with you on that one. But the price tag, you know.
Yeah, he's actually, I won't blame him for the price tag, but like for the price tag, we also like you can also think about it that way, that you paid so much money for a property that didn't actually didn't produce what you expected it to do. So that's flop, right? So I don't blame him for that part, but it's part of the reason why we say it's flop. When it comes to injuries, if a player gets injured that you bought for a very expensive price, it's still a flop, no matter what. He's not playing. That's even worse because you have a player that's so good you can't use it. But apart from that, I think Pogba never fitted the Premier League. It was a big mistake getting him back to the Premier League. It was a big mistake, and we shouldn't do that anymore. Like I don't think actually we going for De Jong is a bad idea, and it might end up like the same with Paul Pogba actually. Because at the end of the day, look at who was benching Paul Pogba. McTominay, Fred. Come on. That's crazy, right? He's so good, he's being benched by McTominay and Fred. That it doesn't make sense to me. Like, come on.
I think it's the ideology. I think it's the Man United ideology is to be very hard and to be a tough tackler. Even when De Jong comes in, if he doesn't tackle,
No, but if a player is skillful, right? If a player is that good, as the fan base seem to think he is, right? The coach will find a place for him. Remember, before Bruno Fernandes came, we tried Pogba in that number 10 position. It did not work because he always moved to the left and leave the whole space, the right and the middle, empty. And he doesn't even press on the front. So it was like we were just pressing, we were just being too left-sided. If you remember, we were left-sided, and one of the reasons was because Paul Pogba was comfortable on the left side. Some of the fan base will say, "Oh, if he played with players like Herrera. Herrera is a very good player. He got to the Champions League final with PSG, right? He was one of their best players during that season. So he played with Matic. Matic has won the league. What? So like, I don't understand why so much excuse. He's a flop.
I think my thing is I don't give Paul Pogba excuses, but I just don't think he's the ultimate blame. That's where my problem is. But this is all about opinions. Yeah, it's all about opinions.
I don't actually blame him. Actually, I think it's the league wasn't for him. It's just some people are good in some leagues, and I think he'll be very good in Spain also. If I was him, I would have just gone to Barcelona and begged them like, "Oh, cut my fees," and yeah, because I think he'll be good there. But like, I don't care, and I'm a Manchester United fan. I don't care about Paul Pogba. I'm happy that he's left because it's just like carrying a big stone that you can't drop because you needed to do something else. You understand? So it was just like a big problem that we had to fix to move forward. And I'm happy that he has left. At least now he could fulfill his potential somewhere else, and we could try and build a team around a team and not around somebody.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Big up to you, man. Love for coming on, bro. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Let's bring on Noah. Noah, how are you? Noah, you there? Noah? I can't hear you, Noah. Noah, are you there? I don't know where Noah's gone. I don't know where he's gone there. Let's bring on Derek. Derek. Yes, brother, you good?
Hey, Side, what's up, man?
What's up? Where you from? Where you from?
I stay out here in States.
States, big up to you, man. Big up to you, man. What you
I've
telling me,
been,
man?
I've been a fan. Actually, I'm not a United fan, but I'm just coming here to show some love and express
Come
my
on, man.
and stuff like that. So I've been subscribed to you since 5K. So I've been watching
Wow,
your
man.
stuff.
Jeez, big up to you, man. Love for that,
Showing
man.
love on Twitter, showing love
Come on, man.
yeah. So
Appreciate it, man.
my own take on Pogba as an outsider, I don't feel like he's a flop. I just feel like United, they don't play as a team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had a lot of players that play individual soccer, football. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I just feel like when you look at Pogba for France, they had a team built. They had a team. They had a system. But United, I just feel like as an outsider, United don't have that system. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of players in there playing individual for themselves. You know, so it's down to the team. It's not down to Pogba because of.
You gone, bro. You gone. I can't hear you, bro.
Can you get me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, you went for a second, yeah.
Oh, my bad. I was get someone was calling my phone. But I was saying it's a team. I don't know what your own take about it, but I just feel like United never built a system around Pogba that's gonna enable to play well for the team. So I don't think it's a flop. He's a good player. You saw it for France, right? You watched France. You saw it. You saw him playing good. So I just feel like it's down to the United because a lot of players in there play for themselves. They don't play as a team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can't just blame. So you can't just blame Pogba. Oh, Pogba, well, nah, man. You know what I'm saying? So I watched United last season when they signed Sancho, Varane, and Ronaldo. Damn, Twitter was going crazy. I was like, man, they probably gonna win the league. But in my mind, I know they're not going nowhere.
Because they've never been a team, you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So right now, they got a new manager and they're trying to get Dijon. What else? Couple players. I'm not still gonna be paranoid about that because I'm an Arsenal fan. I know they're gonna flop. I know they're gonna fight for top 5. So I'm not worried about it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So
yeah, man. Nah, I love the energy, man. I appreciate you calling in, bro. Love for that, man.
All right, man.
You dropped a couple of gems, and you know what, man? Love for supporting since 5K, man. Means a lot, bro.
Yeah,
Means a lot, man.
5K, I've been with you. Always give you likes. Always on Twitter with you. And all
Big
that.
up, man. Come on, man.
Right, man.
You already know that, man. It's all love from day one. Yeah, big up to you, man. Love for that, man. Let's bring on Nate. Nate, how are you?
Hey, Said, can you hear me?
Yeah. Do you mind turning the telly down a little bit?
Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, go on.
All right. I want to say congrats on the 50K.
Come
it's
on,
a
man.
good achievement
Love.
you got.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. It's been done with us and with the fans. It's the community, and congrats
Come on, man.
on
That's what it's all about, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and for the topic you chose, which is really good, it's one of the most dividing topics in Manchester United we have. When you look at it, it's a case of a player, but we can even see it from today's show. Many fans have different opinions from here and there, and which I understand mainly so, but I couldn't get the fact there are still people who are, I mean, literally defending Pogba here. I'm not gonna come here to abuse or slander him, but some criticism, he deserved it. The media was very harsh. Like, they took it too far. I'm not for them. But
Mm. Mm.
people say when people criticize Pogba, it looks like they have an agenda. You want to know what? I have an agenda. My agenda is Manchester United. It's the club, and everyone should have the agenda of supporting the club. That's it. There's no more uh, praising the players or following them everywhere. Don't get me wrong. 2016, when we signed him, I was so excited. I even got his poster in my room. I was that desperate for him. He's a very good player. No one can doubt that. Talent wise, amazing, truly extraordinary.
Mm.
But we had some players in here. Manchester United have seen some great players, the most amazing players. But one thing we would remember is they play for the badge. It's not just about their talents. And you raised the questions for the other fans. Was Pogba a flop? Flop is a very dismissal word. We couldn't say it's a flop. Flop is like complete failure. He was not a complete failure. I would say he was underwhelming or a bit of a letdown to the fans because we had
Big
our own
hopes.
expect. Yeah, we had
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had our own hopes. We wanted him to be like successful in the club, and
Mm.
we wanted him like what he did on Juventus. For us, and he was a letdown. I must say that, but do you deserve some criticism? Yes,
Mm.
entirely so, because we
Mm.
love our club to the death. That's and we invest our
Mm.
time or our money or our everything in here. And other players like Maguire, like the other ones, they deserve the same criticism because we want the results, we want the best. Glazers, they should deserve that. It's all part of that. But so he was part of the problem, and I want to say I lost my faith in Pogba when we
Mm.
had that toxic environment in 2016, and Marino was sacked because of that, which was not a pleasant time. And people thought we were going to the right direction, to the positive direction
Mm.
through Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And look what it got us. Common denominator. Pogba's still here. Lingard's still here. We still have these players. I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming them, but you have to look left and right. And
Mm.
finally, I want to say there are there are people waiting for the term. I want to say finally, I wish you the best, Pogba. Wish you the best on your life. And personally, I think you're a good player and a good person. I think you're a family man and a very good Muslim. So
Mm.
big
I
up,
appreciate that, man. No, big up
Thanks
to
for
you,
your
man, for
help.
saying that.
We
No, big
wish
up
you
to you,
all the
man.
best.
Absolutely. No, good words, man. Good words, man. Big up to you, bro. Big up to you, man. Please, guys, keep smashing like on the video, people. Let's bring on Kunal. Is it Kunal? Yeah, Kunal.
Yeah, man,
Khalid.
what's up, bro? How are you doing, bro?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too. Where you from, bro?
I'm from Dubai. Actually,
Yeah, big up to you, man, from Dubai, man. What do you want to say about Paul Pogba, man? Has he been a flop for you?
he's not been a flop, but he has been underwhelming. The previous caller, he said he was underwhelming because we all expected him to be this great savior of this team, but it didn't happen that way because he didn't have a midfield. First of all,
Mm.
like one thing I have to say that when he came, who did we have? Andres Pereira. We had Jesse
Yeah,
Lingard. They're not
true.
great players. Simple as that.
Mm.
But he won the first season. We won because we had Ibrahimovic, and he had those kind of like a leader or a guy you could aspire to be like.
Mm.
Because Zlatan is a big what do you say character. But I think it all went downhill for him ever since that problem with Mourinho. Because when
Mm.
Mourinho thing happened, the entire thing became toxic. But the
Mm.
biggest problem was his agent. Like now he's not alive anymore, and I'm not going to say anything bad about him. Rest in peace,
Mm.
my friend. But he used to say comments about the club and about the player that was not good. That was not supposed to
Mm.
happen, and it affects the dressing room. Like we have to be honest, it does.
Mm.
Whether he likes it or not, that's a different thing. And first of all, the United board also didn't have the balls to like get him out of the club or sell him because Ole came and Ole was obviously no tactics, nothing, and we can see that 3 years later the same thing is going on. Like
Mm.
as a when Bruno came, you saw that combination with him, and you go like, okay, there's something that might happen. There might be
Mm.
a proper midfield, but the problems are too much in the dressing room. And when he has the most assist since of in a United player since the time he was here, so
Mm.
you know that he has been trying, but then the injuries happen and stuff like that. So I don't think it's been it has worked. It's not a flop, but it has not worked completely because you don't have a structure. You can see that 5 players are gone within 2 days. So
Yeah,
they
it's
don't have
true.
a structure. So we
There hasn't been a structure for him to succeed, has there? Yeah. How do we go about replacing him now? Who do you think's out there for you that could replace him?
See, you can't have a player like Pogba because he's such a good player. But I want a player in the team now who fights and runs for the club. Like I would go for James Garner.
McTominay?
No, not McTominay. James Garner. James Garner is a much better player than McTominay. And I would take James Garner in this midfield and Van de Beek and Bruno Fernandes. And I hope that we get Ruben Neves or anyone else. But if James Garner is playing well in a championship team and they're promoted, by the way, make him play for United. Do not waste
Okay.
that talent, Like that's my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. No, it's all about opinions, man. Kunal, big up to you from Dubai, man.
Thank you so much, bro. Take care.
Love, man. Big up to you, bro. Big up to you. Let's bring on Chiwa. Chiwa, how are you, brother? Chilling. Nah,
What's
it's all
going
right,
on, man?
It's all right. Don't
Can
worry,
you hear
man.
me?
How are you?
I'm
Yeah, I
good,
can hear
man.
you.
Yeah, man. So yeah,
What do you
Pogba,
think, man? Pogba, it divides opinion, man. It divides opinion.
Pogba is a flop with context. So for me, when I'm looking at it, like when I take now that he's out of Manchester United, I take a look at his career once he came back. How many games did he play for Manchester United since he came back? That's a rhetorical question. But when you take a look at those games and be say like, how many of those games did you actually come out of the game and be like, damn, Pogba, that was a performance, even when we lose, right? So for me, with context, the club failed Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba did not help himself either. He
Yep.
just went with the flow. So as a club like it came out the youth system, right?
Yeah.
So for me, like I told you this before when I came to your show last time, I expect anybody coming out of the club system to have that mentality to say, whenever things are going even bad, at least show me that you are trying. Let me come out of the game and be like, we lost today, but damn, man, you put in your hard work in there. But how many games can we actually say that with honesty about Paul Pogba? I can maybe count it with five fingers, right? So for me, with context, Paul Pogba is a failure. The club is a failure because for me, watching from a distance, we never buy players that we need. We always buy players that we want. That's the problem with Manchester United.
You know, just to cut you off there, if the club were doing well and Paul Pogba was a failure, I'd happily say Paul Pogba was a big flop, and I think he's a very, very bad player. But the thing is, for me though, the club have been doing bad. So it's almost as if why should we paint Pogba as a flop when the club haven't won
that's
anything
what
anyway?
That's what I say with context.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
With context, the club has to hold the higher position into this. We have to hold our club into a higher standard. They should have provided the infrastructure for Paul Pogba to succeed, but they didn't. At the same token, Paul Pogba did not help himself. He did not show any character once he was in there. Even in difficult times, this is where Paul Pogba would just hide, if I can put it that way.
Do you think he hid? Is that a bit harsh? I think he came out and showed a bit.
Trust me, man. I
character.
just have a different mentality with life in general. So for me, if you don't show me at least 50% of your ability every single time, to me you're a flop.
Okay.
To me you're a flop. I'm African. All I do is hard work, mate. Nothing comes easy. I do accept that. I'm not expecting our players to have a 9 out of 10 every game. That's not realistic, right? But every single time you step on the pitch, bro, you cross that white line. I don't care what your problems are. Whether you have your home problem, I don't give a shit. Whether you have a, dressing room problem, I don't give a shit. Once you cross that white line, everything goes to shit. I want you to perform for the badge. It's just that simple. So if you are not doing it and say, oh, it's because this and this and that, that does not make any sense to me. I will never have to accept that, especially for players that came out of our youth system. I will never accept that. I don't care if you went abroad and did your thing and then came back. You are still our youth product. I expect you to have the very mentality that got you to start at Manchester United. That's all I'm expecting from you. So if you're not providing me even 50% of that, you are a flop to me. It's just that simple.
Absolutely. No, listen, Chua.
My
No,
man.
you spoke well, and that's your opinion, and that's what we want, man. This is a fan calling
My
show.
man.
It's about your opinion. So
I'm
big up
always
to you,
watching from
Chua.
a distance, mate. I'm always watching from a distance. I wish I could go to Old Trafford and really experience
Someday,
the whole
man.
shit.
One day.
But one day,
Man.
I'm working on it. But
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
definitely,
Glazers
man.
and stuff, boy, it
Yeah. No.
just it's
Don't worry, man.
just
One day.
my man. Thank you for letting me in, huh?
Come on, man. Big up to you, man. Love for coming on, man. We're gonna bring on Devils, and then Noah, and then Glenn, and then Danish. Yeah, we're gonna bring you on. Don't worry, one by one, we're gonna bring you back on. Devils, what are you telling me, bro? You good? I can't hear you, bro. Are you on mute or something? Or I
Can
think
you hear
you're
me
on
now?
mute.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you telling me? You good?
Yeah, big up, bro. Yeah, man. What about you?
Yeah, not
All
too
good.
bad, man. Good as can be. Good as can be,
Yeah.
man. What are you telling me?
50K and all that, man.
Big
I'm
up,
proud
man.
of you, man. It's
Appreciate it.
good fucking milestone. Just keep on doing your shit.
Come
But
on, man.
just like what the Pogba thing. I mean, my man said something about him being African. I'm African as well, but I think he was capping a bit. I can't lie.
Okay,
I don't have
fair
no
enough.
affiliation to players. I have no affiliation to players, but I feel like a lot of people, and I see it on Twitter and stuff as well, and I'm not just generalizing my man, but we seem to kind of rewrite the thing a lot. It's like almost people have short-term memories. I'm not backing Pogba, but let's just be realistic. Let's not try rewrite stuff that's happened. Like we've all seen with Pogba, and the way I put him in it is underwhelming. We can't start now saying that, yeah, most of the times he's not been playing well. We've not really seen any kind of world-class ability in any types of the seasons that he played for us in the 6-7 season. Like, I don't like to rewrite stuff. There was games there. There was games there where we saw the glimpses of quality. We see it. We saw it. So for me, I just put him on an underwhelming bit. Give it a 50-50 thing. It's very easy for me. Part of it is his fault. You need to be responsible for your own actions, your own performances, and then it's the club. I compare it to a working life environment. I'm sorry, even if I was working a decent job, if the environment isn't good, if the working environment isn't good, you're not going to perform at your optimum level. It's that simple. Compare it to your working life. It's that simple. So I'm comparing it to United, where, all right, it's a very toxic environment and very weird atmosphere. I wish I was a fly over there, but I'm not. He seems to be not the only player that's disgruntled. There's a lot of other players that are disgruntled there. So that's, that starts from the top, then goes to board level, then from board level goes to scouting. That probably from scouting goes to the canteen ladies, probably. It's an absolute mess at the club. And people want to look at the little small problem, but ignore the big, like the big elephant in the room. For me, like I said, it's underwhelming, very much underwhelming, but it's a 50-50 blame, not 60-40 Pogba or 20 or 80% Pogba, 20% the club. Like, no, it's a 50-50 thing. He should be in charge of his own performances because, like I said, and I've said it a few times on Twitter, and I've rattled a few people. The thing is, I think a lot of people don't really understand the type of player profile Pogba is. I think almost when he joined in 2016, people expected him to be Vieira, regen Vieira, Patrice Vieira. He ain't that guy just because he's a 6'4" black guy who he's just blessed with so much attributes and skills and traits that he's almost like like a victim of his own success because of how good he is. And people was putting in conversations where he needs to defend more because he's big and strong, or he needs to drive more because he's got long legs. Like, I genuinely think some people just didn't understand the kind of player he generally was, or even saw him when he was playing at Juve. That's just, there's a lot of education that needs to come into it when it comes to, I think it's just modern football, player profiles, systems, etc., etc. But people expected him to be the match winner. People expected him to be our Messi. And expectations is cool, but reality is probably a better thing. Do you get what I
Exactly.
mean? Like people
Yeah, facts.
expected him to do. People expected him to take it from the box, take it on a half turn, and do a Mazzoline.
Ain't
I've
gonna
said it
happen.
many times. Football is a team game. It's a team game. It's not an individualistic bullshit. If it was, go do the tennis thing, go do the Formula One thing. You'd enjoy it more. It's a team thing. So people need to just add that
Facts.
context as well. Do you get what I mean? But
Nah,
for
100.
me,
Now, you
it's
know
just
what, man?
it's
Big up to you,
underwhelming.
man. It's 100%, man. I think, you know what, you said it. And I think a few of you have said it today. You've got to put the things into context. 50-50.
Yeah, man.
Nobody's got a kind of a right blame. You know what I mean? It's literally been bad on both parties. And
Both
sometimes it
parts.
is, man. Yeah.
It's that simple. You don't need to go. I'm seeing man them doing too much. Not just on here a bit and on Twitter, bad people just going too much. I'm just thinking, this is why and I've said it. This is why Man United fan base is they're part of them are my enemies, bro. Like, because some of them are just they go too extreme, or they just don't give any. And it's like I've said it many times. United fan base is the ghetto, bro. Like they are genuinely the ghetto. Like some of them I genuinely don't think, and in the most polite way, just don't understand the sport as well as you, as well as a rants and people. I'm not saying I'm a football fanatic, but I would say I kind of know more than the average fan, definitely. But
Yeah,
hey,
no,
I just think
100%, man. Big up to you, man. Big up to you for coming
man,
on, bro.
that's just my
Appreciate it,
opinion,
man.
anyways. Big up,
Come
bro.
on, man. Love, man. Big up to you, man. Big up to you. Let's bring on Noah. Hopefully his mic's working now. Noah, your mic's working now?
Yeah, it's working.
Yes, that's it now. Big up to you, Noah, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's been a long time.
What do you think? What do you think of Paul Pogba? Has it been a flop for you?
For me, I wouldn't say that he's a flop because I know about the past. I know about this season. Things wouldn't work out because of the managers as well. With Ragnick, even the past as well as with Jose Mourinho, about the argument, even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Not that much, but we all know that. For me, I would give it 50-50. The real problem is for Pogba, it's because of his performance, mentality. That's the only thing. I knew something that for his Premier League style would not work out since he arrived. But listen, the first season, he had a great winning 2 trophies, was not bad. But at the time, later on, still from the coaching staff and the managers as well, did not work out. It gets lower. That's the main problem. Even the directors as well. What do you expect? Sometimes the player needs to change, getting back the way it was, to get back the mentality, the quality as well. When it reminds me of Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. When I look at them in the position, everyone were confused. It won't work out. That's what I was guessing. Because of that, because 2 attacking midfield won't work out. You have to decide if it's Pogba or Fernandes. But right now, we all know it's confirmed because Pogba will leave. Because for Bruno Fernandes, that's the only way you need a center attacking midfield so that you can give the chance. But for me, Paul Pogba, he did a great he did a great things for our club. We will never forget what he did, winning against City 3-2 back in 2018, under by Jose Mourinho. That I will not forget, even the Europa League final as well. What he did, a good stuff, won't be forget. But sometimes bad stuff, I know. It's hard to accept, I know. Some of the players,
That's what it's about, football, though,
fans,
isn't it? That's what football's about, man. Absolutely. Noah, big up to you, man. I'm going to have to wrap up it here, people. Listen, people, I'm going to have to wrap up the show here. I know you guys are waiting in the background, but listen, we've been literally just under 2 hours. Glenn, Mo, Danish, is it Acrobat, Abid, you guys in the comments below, make sure you come in early. 2 hour show. Try and get here early as you can, people, to avoid disappointing And yeah, man, we got through a lot of people today. Big up to all the opinions. Big up to the diverse opinions. This is what we want, people. We want as many people as we can on the show, and we want more people giving their opinion. That's what this fan calling show is about, man. Not many people do it. That's why I do it, people. I want to give you guys a voice. So big up to you guys for coming on. Leave a like on the way out. If you haven't liked the video already, here's your chance to now. And subscribe if you're new. And we're out, people. Take care.